At that moment, the person standing behind spoke with a tone of disdain. Lord Saint, they're just a cripple and some children. There's no need for you to personally take action. As soon as finished speaking, he rushed forward and continued. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for choosing the wrong sect. Those who dare to stand in the way of the hidden sect must. Before he could finish his sentence, a voice rang out. Is that so? Accompanied by a broom pressed against his neck. Then, with masterful broom skills, Ice Emperor swiftly took down the assassin and coldly said, A mere martial emperor thinks he can destroy my sect? Trash. The assassin refused to accept defeat, arrogantly said. I was careless. I didn't expect you to be an expert too, but I am a martial emperor of the hidden sect. I will defeat. Before he could finish his sentence, the assassin was frozen in place. Ice Emperor sighed. I accidentally froze him too much. Now the volume of trash has increased a lot. At that moment, the leader of the assassins spoke up. This old man was really careless, nonetheless, even if you're strong. 5 peak emperors should be enough to hold you down. And while you're trapped, I will have more than enough time to flatten your entire sect. You must be the all-time sect's Grand Elder. Watch as your sect gets reduced to ruins, all while being held up by those martial emperors. Ice Emperor smiled and replied. You're wrong, I am only a sweeper. My job is simply cleaning out the trash. Someone else guards the sect's gates. Sky-shattering blast. A strange blue energy orb shot straight toward the gate of the all-time sect. At this moment, 2 hands were gathering a small red energy orb, accompanied by fragmented shouts. 7 mystic lights shattering. Break. The red energy blast shattered the blue energy orb. Assassin leader screamed in surprise. The attack which I put my all into was countered? Who did that? Don't tell me that old man is even stronger than I thought. Did he defeat the 5 martial emperors? Where did my 5 emperors go? Ice Emperor nonchalantly swept the trash into the bin and said, I was right, those 5 emperors weren't even strong enough for a warm-up. But I don't want to steal the thunder from my big brother who loves the gates so much. Hearing the 2 words big brother, assassin leader exclaimed in terror. Big brother? Don't tell me the all-time sect has another Grand Elder? But when he saw Hiwudi, assassin leader became even more astonished. Ah, so young, is your name perhaps Big, while your surname is Brother? Even if I have to fight you both simultaneously, I will not surrender. Why did you sit down? Hiwudi replied with disdain. A half-saint wants me and old Ice Face to gang up against him? Do you think you're worthy? The assassin's face turned red with anger as he shouted. You can kill me, but you can't trample on my dignity. As soon as he finished speaking, the assassin charged straight toward Hiwudi. Seeing this, Hiwudi coldly said, Do you really want to die that badly? Well, your bravery is applaudable. Suddenly, assassin leader shifted his attack toward Menjing. Let's see if you'll obediently kneel before me after I catch this little girl. Seeing this, Hiwudi immediately ordered the demon emperor's soul inside Mengying's body. Those who should work should start working. If you dare slack off and not do a good job, I will not spare you. Okay. Demon Emperor immediately appeared and struck the assassin leader with a punch. Assassin's leader was beaten lying on the ground, trembling spoke. The all-time sect is too terrifying. But assassin leader, still resilient, stood up and said, I don't care how strong you are, let's see if you can remain unharmed after a half-saint self-destructs. Long live the hidden sect! As the assassin was speaking, a little kitty trotted over to his feet. Little kitty opened its enormous mouth and swallowed the assassin whole. Hiwudi clapped his hands in approval. Wow, you have a great appetite, little kitty. We forgot to catch him alive. Too bad the last one alive also turned into wet garbage. Woof. A room somewhere, a young man angrily speaks up. Hold on, let me get this straight. Not only did you fail the assassination, but you also want me to compensate you for your losses? What kind of a joke is that? Tang Ren only had 4 martial emperors with him. Did you not even bother to investigate before taking action? The old man across from him responds. Let's not talk about those 4 martial emperors first. I bet even they are hiding something. Your second brother has teamed up with the all-time sect, which resulted in a loss of 11 martial emperors and a half-saint. The young man with purple hair speaks up again. It's indeed remarkable for a small sect from a rural county to be capable of such feats. The old man responds once more. The all-time sect is indeed more dangerous than you think. However, there's no need to worry. Your money will not be wasted. The hidden sect will be your steadfast ally in dealing with them. The purple-haired man scoffed at the all-time sect and said, On the Star Continent, everyone outside the Grand Central Province are just ants. Second brother, oh second brother, do you really think you can turn the situation around with the help of a small sect from outside? The future patriarch's election is fast approaching. He must be desperately grasping at straws. I bet a small rural sect like the all-time sect hasn't even heard of the Battle of Tigers and Dragons, so. Just as he had said, Brother June asked in bewildered expression. What is this, Battle of Tigers and Dragons, that you were talking about just now? Second young master of the Tang sect responded. It's the same as a leaderboard that lists all the young talents. Battle of Tigers and Dragons is the rank list of all the biggest sects within the Star Continent. The event is held every 5 years in the Central Province. It can be considered one of the continent's greatest events. Brother June, with a bewildered expression, continued speaking. Color me surprised, this seat is uneducated and isn't really aware of the matters of the Star Continent. He frowned, resting his hand on his chin, and said again. The Battle of Tigers and Dragons only happens once every 5 years, so it might not be up to date. For example, we recently defeated the second-rank sect Lily Saint Land, so we should have made it on to the list too. Hearing Brother June's question, second young master replied. Second rank? It seems like sect leader June really is unfamiliar with the Star Continent's major events. Only a first-rank sect is qualified to enter the rankings. He continued to explain. The Central Province is located at the eye of the Star Continent. The spiritual power there is incredibly dense, which results in countless sects competing for a spot. Those who can stay are all extremely powerful. Putting it another way, only rank 1 sects are qualified to stay in the Central Province. No sect from outside the Central Province has ever made it onto the rankings. Moreover, once a sect wins the top spot, not only will their name become renowned throughout the entire continent, for some unknown reason, even the spiritual power around the sect will also become unimaginably pure and dense. Hearing that, Brother June thought to himself, is this Battle of Tigers and Dragons the investiture of gods? How could it even cause such heavenly phenomena? After finishing his thoughts, he asked, with so many benefits, won't some sects resort to tricks and plots? What's the harm in getting rid of your opponents before the competition? Second young master replied. No one would dare do that. We don't know who, but there's someone ensuring that the competition stay fair. A few hundreds years ago, in order to win, a certain sect employed some underhanded tactics. However, after they entered the finals, their entire sect was destroyed overnight. That was a super rank 1 sect, yet they disappeared without a sound overnight. That's why we have a saying in our Tang sect, while the tigers and dragons battle, someone watches from above. After listening to second young master's explanation, Brother June went outside to explain it to the disciples. In short, as per Tang sect's second young master's recommendation, if we want to establish ourselves in the Central Province, the best way is to win the Battle of Tigers and Dragons. Win? Sect leader June, I only recommended you participate in it to gain experience and to try to earn some reputation. You hear that, kids? The second young master has great confidence in us. I will now begin your special training. All inner disciples will gather at the back of the Iron Bone Mountain Gorge in 2 hours. Second young master tried to persuade him. Sect leader June, don't you think it's a little rash to alpha-item you for the first rank? After all, even I have heard endless stories about those super rank 1 sect's strength. Brother June responded with a smile and said, Don't worry, young Master Tang, after all, you should not aspire to be a CEO's driver or their chef, you need to set bigger goals. He took out a ring and continued speaking. This spatial ring contains the elixirs that I've prepared. 100,000 pieces of spirit-gathering pills, 10,000 pieces of healing pills, and 10,000 pieces of detoxification pills. Other than that, there are also 1,000 frost steel blades in there. Try and see if you can sell that too. Second young master accepted the ring, pulled out a dagger, a sword, and said, I didn't expect the all-time Sect to also be talented in artifact forging, but I hope Sect leader June isn't expecting too much. After all, the Central Province's premium artifact market is basically completely monopolized by Grandmaster Fan. For example, this flying dagger in my hand was also made by Grandmaster Fan. At 100,000 spirit stones apiece, there's demand but no supply. It is incredibly sharp. If you're struck, it basically guarantees that you'll keep bleeding non-stop. I'll give you a little demonstration. I'll lightly slice. Nanny? As soon as Grandmaster Fan's dagger touched Brother June's sword, it was easily sliced in half. Second young master was even more astonished when he learned the number of swords contained inside the ring. Are all 1,000 swords in the ring such divine weapons? There's no need to sell them. Our Tang sect will buy them all. Brother calmly said. It'd be better to sell a few and to build a reputation first. As for what you'll do with the rest, that is up to you. Grandmaster Fan's work is merely the lowest testing criteria for the all-time sex arms manufacturing. In a certain forest, Qingyang asked. Sect leader, are we really going to participate in the battle of tigers and dragons? Hearing that, Brother June asked in return. What, are you scared? Qingyang smiled and said. My father said that as long as I join and do decently in the battle of tigers and dragons, he won't say a word regardless of who I marry in the future. Brother June asked. Is the battle of tigers and dragons that important? Everyone responded one after another. Of course. My family elders said that if I do well, they will open up a new main branch for me in the family tree. My dad said that he will buy me gifts for Father's Day in the future if I can place on the rankings. My grandma said that if I participate in it, she will enshrine a tablet for me in our ancestors' temple while I am still alive. The city lord said that he'd give me 500,000 if you get a rank. After hearing that, Brother June thought to himself. What battle of tigers and dragons? Isn't it basically the Olympics? Then, Brother June pretended to cough and said, It seems like I have underestimated the influence of this event, but this is also a testament to the event's difficulty. Heroes from all over the continent will strive to showcase their talent in the battle of tigers and dragons. Although we aren't weak and each have our own specialties, who knows if there's someone even better than us out there? There might even be people who can completely overpower us. Never look down on the continent's heroes. This is why I am going to give you the most rigorous training so you may gain the greatest strength. The Life and Death Realm. Open. The system displayed a notification. Host, please select the difficulty level, easy mode, normal mode, hard mode. This is so game-like, I can even choose the dungeon difficulty? This is our first time, so let's be steady. We'll go with the easiest mode first. As soon as the selection was made, Brother June and disciples were immediately pulled into the Life and Death Realm. Inside the Life and Death Realm, Brother June stood before a statue and said to his disciples, Be careful, disciples, even I have never entered this realm before. I don't know what kind of trouble will appear. Su Xiaomao spoke up. Sect leader, there's something weird on top of your head. What is it? The Buddha statue behind you also has one. It's a red line. An HP bar? Brother June frowned and asked the system. System, did you create a game for us? But there's no need to send out a Buddha boss on easy mode, right? System replied. Calm down, do you really think I don't know how much you can handle? Observe carefully, this life and death realm will have incredible effects on your training. Observe carefully? Why is the health bar moving when the statue isn't? Suddenly, from behind the statue, a hand reached out and grabbed statue's shoulder. A giant rat emerged. This was metal-eating rat. It bared its teeth and lunged at Brother June Changxiao. In that instant, Yi Xingchen leaped forward, sent the rat back to its ancestors and said, It should be around the martial king realm, but its physique felt very tough when I kicked it. I think even a peaked martial king would only be an even match against it. I can only sense this one demon rat nearby. Sect leader, isn't this even easier than the training tower? Brother June responded. Well, you don't know about monster spawning, so I won't hold it against you. However, your kick just fully activated the life and death realm. At that moment, numerous metal-eating rats suddenly appeared in midair. They charged aggressively with bloodshot eyes. Then, the leader of the group appeared, and metal-eating rat elite, it let out a sharp G to command the others to attack. Seeing this, Suiji immediately shouted, "Yuhua, defend on it." The two strongest tankers of the all-time sect joined the formation. The swarm of metal-eating rats clung to both of them. Metal-eating rat elite let out another G. The entire swarm obeyed, opening their mouths to attack the two tankers. Swordsman Zhonghong charged forward, shouting, "Sword intent! Hero killer!" Zhonghong descended like a god, spinning his sword like a blender. The swarm of rats was instantly shredded into pieces, scattering in all directions. At this moment, two young men standing on the outside, one claimed to be the #1 sword master, while the other called himself the second sword master, engaging in a discussion. #1 sword master said, "That singular move killed at least 30 rats. Zhonghong is truly worthy of being the second best sword prodigy in our all-time sect." The second sword master. Indeed. Metal-eating rat elite, seeing Zhonghong closing in, let out a G. Seeing this, Zhonghong calmly said, "I need to catch my breath, you go next." Immediately, Dida's kitchen assistant, holding a kitchen knife, charged forward, shouting, "Dida's butcher knife technique first form. Fillet." Swish, 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 he slashed at the rat, forcing it to struggle in defense. As he kept slashing, the young man said, "No wonder it can command the martial king realm rats, this guy is a martial emperor. Have a taste of the blade techniques I mastered in the all-time sect's kitchen. Dice and braise." The kitchen knife with blazing flames slashed down, as the rat continued to resist. Seeing this, Zhonghong shouted, "I'll help you, sword intent, swimming dragon." With that, the two young men relentlessly hacked at the elite rat, slicing it cleanly in half. Brother Jun, standing on the sidelines, marveled and praised their efforts. "Zhonghong, Ma Yongning, well done. With the elite monster gone, the rest of the metal-eating rats are nothing more than loose rabble. It's a shame we didn't even get the chance to show off." Brother Jun muttered to the system. "System, isn't this too tame? There won't be enough to go around even if you send out a few more elites." The system simply responded with an "oh," and then said, "Please try to keep that smug look on your face in mind." At that moment, a horde of elite rats of various types was summoned. "Godfather, I admit that I was a little arrogant.